here.
Community is waiting for us. Okay, let me share screen so we can get started with week 38. Welcome, buddy, for joining us. Sorry we started a bit late. We got caught up in talking about Europe and sports and Python developers. But let me share screen right now. Let me share a window. Okay, so today is week 38, where we talked about one-hit wonder data set. This data set can be found on, where is it? On GitHub, on Plotly's GitHub, the Figure Friday. You'll have the metadata here that it was copied from the pudding page, and see all the column information. Most of them are self-explanatory, but you have, this is about sports. It's about people who are excellent athletes in sports, like one-hit wonders, like Derrick Rose in basketball. Who do we have here? Dana Barris. I think, oh, that's basketball as well. And so on and so on. There's basketball, baseball, tennis, and a few other sports. So there was a sample history bar chart here and a sample Plotly Studio horizontal bar chart. And then we had some people who participated from the community who built pretty cool graphs and apps. Mike, do you want me to share this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Mike, why don't you walk us through your thought process? What made you want to build it this way?
Okay, well, part of the thinking I have on these Figure Friday projects is that, nobody's going to present the whole data set very well and every single nuance of it. So I try to just grab a few things that I can show that will be clear to people and keep it simple. And so I chose to rank the athletes so that I could get the top 5 from each league. And the way I did the ranking was I looked at their median rank in their career, and then I used the mean rank as a tiebreaker. The median rank, like if you look at LeBron James, his median rank is number 1. More than half the years he's the top player. And there are others like that. So you have to go beyond the median if you really want to sort them out that well. And so it was median followed by mean. And judging by the athletes that pop up on this list, I'd say generally they're the top 5 in their league or pretty close to it. And so all I want to do is really plot their rank by year on the left, calendar year. And then on the right, it's the rank by career year. So you can see how athletes from different decades, what year they peaked versus others. And you pointed this out, most of them like 2 or 3 years to reach the peak, and then some tailing off. But and that's pretty much simply it. I use the logarithmic scale on the Y because they can go from number 1 to number 500 pretty quickly, and that's a little too much dynamic range. But you think about it, if somebody drops from number 1 to number 3, that's a huge change. If they drop from 100 to 125, that's not really as big a change. So that's suitable for the logarithmic axis. And generally, I don't use grid lines anyway. I think that for presentation, they're kind of noise most of the time. But I left them on for the horizontal because it is logarithmic. And true to Plotly, by the way, decision not to show grid lines and have clarity, some people may object to it and say, I need to know exactly where those values are. But with Plotly, you've got such great hover information, you can easily hover over a point and see what it is. So that's how I like to do it and keep it clear. And I'll say one more thing. I'm trying to learn something every week when I do this work, and generally I'm succeeding. This week it was the Dash Mantine chip groups here. I even forgot what you called them.
This one right here?
Yeah, those were actually turning out pretty nice. I've never used those before, but that's pretty good. The other thing I'm trying to do is get my styling better, but it is getting better. And you notice this theme I have, which is like a white background with black graphs. And in my mind, this was an interim solution until I figure out how to style the whole thing. But I've been thinking lately, the black graphs on a white background are actually pretty good. I don't know if I want to change that. So this is my simple presentation. And one of my favorite dashboard tools is still the Plotly Legend. So, just clicking in or out any athlete is something that I could surely do it with a dashboard widget, but why bother is my thought on that.
Yep. Yeah, the legend in Plotly is pretty powerful.
It is very, very powerful. And one other thing I learned this week was how to sort the legend alphabetically without sorting your data. Um, and I know there was some discussion on the community board a few years back when they were first developing that capability, but it's very, very handy. The old way, you used to have to sort your data in the order you wanted to appear in the legend, and that could screw up like a scatter plot. And now you don't have to do that. And I do have a line of code in there that
Where
shows
is that? Is it more
uh,
down?
keep going down to the Plotly Express line. Boom, boom, boom. Where is that? It's category order. Yeah, category orders. That's it.
Nice.
So you just give the name of the column and you tell it the order you want, and it will put the legend in that order. So on the main graph, I sorted these by league name and then by last name of the athlete, and it's
Very nice.
so
ATP, but this you sorted outside the graph, right? It was in the layout that you sorted.
yeah. You click on like two or three of the leagues, you'll see it in the legend. Oh, how did I do that? Uh, I think it's just in the sorting the data frame by what I go by league. Yeah, by league and then by name. I call it name org. Under scroll down, Adam. Go to this one called name.org is the league, and then appended to the name, and then there's a sort in there somewhere. Um, I think it's further down.
Sorted.
Yeah, that's the top 5 list of the league.
Okay.
But anyway, it's really nice stuff. I haven't used Plotly Studio really in a few weeks, but I'm mainly considering the Plotly Studio for just maybe a consultation, but and this is a learning exercise, and I think it's better just write the whole thing yourself with a little help here and there. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. This is also good. Writing Dash from scratch is good for practice. If you already know what you want, Poly Studio is awesome if you know what you want, or maybe you're not sure what you want and you want just an idea of what kind of graph I can create. Poly Studio can do that very well for you.
it could show you what you didn't even know was possible.
Yeah.
That's a really strong point.
Yeah.
And I have used it to just generate code I could copy into an organic dashboard.
Yeah. And one thing I forgot to mention for our viewers here today, as a reminder, we have our Plotly Analytics Vibathon that started about a week ago and is going on until October 6th. So if you'd like to join us to get a free usage of Plotly Studio for about a month or until your AI credits end, you can join us by going to DevPost. I'll actually put the link below in the comments. We're going to DevPost and looking at Plotly. Searching Plotly. I'll put the link here in the comment section in 1 minute. All right, Mike, thank you very much for presenting your app, for creating it. Any feedback, folks? Marianne, Alex, anything you would add or you want to ask but that's not clear?
No. No, I like it the way it is.
Alex, you're
What I
mute.
actually liked very much was that you could compare in the right chart people from different sports.
Yeah.
The length of their career. So.
Yeah.
Well,
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, Alex. And I was just going to say I appreciate everybody in this community commenting, offering suggestions. It's such a great experience.
It's really cool, Mike. I like the way you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Uh, Good afternoon. First, sorry for I'm be late. Well, basically, I like it. I like it the way you presented first because simple but powerful because you are presenting the top five. And as Marian said, the league that is important and the information, the top five information, and you can see it, the ranking specifically, the ranking and you can compare between league. That is very interesting. For instance, I was comparing MLB versus NBA to see, that are excellent players there. Or also, have you said their NHL player, and I surprised that basically, well, is the Alex Ovechkin, the Russian, is still or was one of the big player. One thing here is not about your chart. Basically, what here interested, how can we see if for the future there was the team in the chapter in the data set, we have the team and see how the each player can affect or maybe can leverage of team regarding the team they play if the team in that year was champions. I don't know, but really cool. That's basically what I have to say. Really cool.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Alex. Mike, this is like so surprising to me how Tiger Woods just was in first place for so many years and it just dropped in 1 year.
Oh, I can explain that one.
What happened there?
Remember
Uh,
2009?
gossip,
He,
gossip news.
yeah, I mean, he had a falling out with his girlfriend or wife at the time. Uh, I think there was a minor car accident and a police incident, and he really took a fall in his golf performance. He did register a comeback, but at that point he was really getting towards the tail of his career, and he's a struggling golfer now. But he was clearly the gold standard during his years up to like 2008, 2009.
And he came back from year 20 in his career from 132 to all the way to like first place in like 1 or 2 years. And then
Yeah,
boom, he just dropped again like 106, 200 spots.
well, he's had a lot of surgeries.
Oh, really? For physically, I didn't know.
Various like back and stuff like that. I mean, the amount of stress that man puts on his body to hit a golf ball like 400 yards takes its toll.
This is a beautiful line charts to look at. I like the dark mode. I really like this chart. I told you before in the polls. So how can you compare just because everybody starts from zero, right? And that's like a fair comparison. Here it's a
And
time.
I added one to those because humans start things at one, but the data set
Oh
had
yeah,
a zero index. I just added one to it.
yeah. And then it's really truly a comparison because here it's just different years people started.
The other thing I like about this, and you probably noticed this, but a kind of a recent discovery for me is how to use the spline as the line shape. So give it a little curvature. I find that more visually appealing to the eyes than just straight lines from point to point that give a jagged appearance.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
That's a simple one.
Where'd you put that? Where'd you put the spline here?
And look for a line shape. Yeah, there it is right there out of the bottom of your highlight section. Line shape equals spline. I mean, it couldn't be more easy, but you just got to know it exists.
And what I like about these charts, Mike, is like very clear to see who dominated their field of sport. Like here, it's
yeah.
LeBron James.
And I mean, everybody who knows the NBA knows that LeBron has been the dominant player of the last 20 years. He's the guy who went from high school directly into the NBA.
Okay, exactly. One question I have for you guys, for all of you, if you know about it. I know that PGA or a, tennis, you have the ranking, the normal ranking, number one, number two, number three. How in sports, in for instance, in MLB or NBA, was selected this ranking? How? Because you do have
Alex,
ranking.
Yeah,
this
Mike,
is
how
a
does that
very
work
good
in the NBA?
question. I think everybody would have the same question, but the ranking in this data set, it kind of is what it is. I don't know how they got the actual numbers. So I based it on statistics from the data set. I don't really
Mm,
know what the rankings actually mean, but um, the test that this passes is if you didn't see LeBron James as a top baseball player or Tiger Woods as a top golfer, you would say, "What's going on here?" I mean, these are dominant players. Or Roger Federer. So maybe somebody else understands it. There's like a ranking criteria code, and it's different for
mm,
different
You mean the
sports. So
ranking in tennis or ranking in the NBA?
well, however,
Ranking
this data
ranking
set.
in tennis is ranks are calculated after every tournament, major
mm-hmm,
tournament. So that's once a week, or if it's a Grand
mm-hmm,
Slam, it's once 2 weeks. And the ranks in the data set are the end of year ranks.
mm. Good.
And re- with every tournament, you can get ranking points. And if you win from a player ranked less than you get more. If you're ranked one, it's always loss. And the second thing is if you win a tournament, you get a great amount of ranking points. And if it's a Grand Slam, you get even more.
Hmm.
But if you win a lot and well, you win Wimbledon and you lose it the next time, you lose ranking points.
Okay. Yeah, in tennis, it's like Alex said, in tennis, it's pretty clear how they judge it. In the NBA, it's not really.
Maybe I would say something like points scored and assists
Yeah,
or
probably.
Yeah, I don't. So I
something.
don't know how they balance the calculation across the different sports, but the names I see popping up in the top five look reasonable to me. Um, there could be a few arguments out there for who didn't make it, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And one thing I think you guys all experience the same thing is always keep in mind that when we call it a high ranked person, that means they have a low ranking number. It's just terminology, right? A high rank is number one, and a low rank is number 100. So it's a little.
Oh, yeah, it's like the opposite intuitively. Okay. It's a fascinating chart. I can't stop looking at it. Okay. Let's move on. So we have more time for others. Marianne. Let's see. Do you want to share screen or should I share screen, Marianne?
I can share the No, you can share. I can share the screen.
You
Oh,
want
you're
me?
sharing screen?
Yeah, I can share. I'm already here.
Right, that is absolutely beautiful what you did here with the
Yeah,
athletes'
well,
pictures.
going to disappoint you.
Why?
I faded the pictures
Oh, why did you fade them?
because they're. Yeah, there was one I looked up and that was copyrighted, and the others were fake, but it looks like the same person who took a lot of the pictures.
Okay.
So I'm going to remove them and write a blog about the importance of good pictures.
Good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I watched tennis for a lot of years, far before the left point 1990.
Okay.
And what I actually wanted to do is just look at the ranks 1, 2, 3 and see how that you could compare players. But then I created the first version of the scatter plot, and I had a lot of number 1 or 2 or 3 even were not available. So missing people, like Andre Agassi wasn't there. Well, I think Andre Agassi, that's the light blue one on the screen. Well, that's a remarkable career, I would say. So, yeah, that's the moment I started to look up data, and then I saw a remark from, I think it was Adam, who said, that's a long career. I thought, well, hey, we're 8 years further now. Novak Djokovic is still playing.
Yeah.
So his career is even further.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only thing actually you can do here is just select a few players, see some data on the card, and yeah, it's nothing very special.
I really like how these summaries are so helpful to read more about them, because people usually see, oh wow, I didn't know if I don't know, David Robinson in the NBA was so strong. Let me read more about him, and then because he's not for my time, and then you can use your app to learn more about the person.
Yeah, that was a mix of asking first Chat GPT, but the results weren't fair. I wanted to do scraping, just scraping. I thought, how difficult can it be? But the results weren't that good, or not as good as I wanted them to be, or sometimes not correct. And well, that's a lot of handiwork here.
Yeah.
It's not how it should be, but that's how it ended.
And how'd you do this? How'd you cut it? It looks like it's cut off here.
Yes, it's cut off. What I actually did, because there were missing years, at least if you look from, maybe you could disable Sampras and Federer and Dimitrov. That makes, you can see for Andre Agassi that between 1995 and 98, probably, he wasn't ranked in the top 3.
Right.
So what I actually did for missing years, I set the value to 4, which means the spline goes down, because otherwise it would go to skip a few years and make a nice visual.
Okay.
But that's not the truth. So it goes to 4, and to make my life easy, I added a black shape.
Ha. Nice. You did some poly manipulation here. Nice.
Yeah, and actually I should convert the x-axis ticket values to annotations, and
very
move
nice.
them 20 pixels to above, but that's how I did it.
Marianne, what's the reason you decided to leave these grayed out instead of like making them disappear and only appear when you choose a person?
What I had a click data thing, but I also wanted to compare. And if you start with everyone selected or unselected, so everyone grayed out or everyone with a color, well, that's very vague.
Okay.
Because actually, I think there are about 20, 25 different tennis players. This is, well, almost 30 years.
Yeah. Wasn't Boris Becker? So the highest rank was 3rd.
But this is at the very end of his career.
Oh, okay. Before that,
if I would go back 10 years, you would see much more Boris Becker.
Okay.
And the same for Stefan Edberg. He's the first dot on the rank 2.
Is he Dutch?
No, he's Swedish.
Swedish. Nice. All right, Marianne, thank you.
Okay.
I really like this.
Really cool, Marianne. Really cool.
Hey, I have a
I
question,
like it.
Marianne. Very great job, by the way. Your dashboards are so beautiful.
Hmm.
You mentioned there was an issue of the date wasn't lining up with the proper
Yeah.
location of the X, and you mentioned a pandas issue, but I wanted to ask if you could articulate that.
Now, what I did, I converted the year to Pandas date time,
Hmm.
and then it said 1st of January of the year, but the end of year was 31st of December. So
Oh, and that's where you said the rankings are determined by that, right? The
yeah,
end of the
and
year, not the
what
beginning of the year.
happened? What actually happened? Then I put the year on the in the scatter plot,
Hmm.
and that's when the ticket values moved, or at
I
least the
see.
way I did it. So when I removed the or changed the 1st of January, or changed the year field back to the 1st of January, the ticket labels were in the correct place again.
Oh, okay.
Nice, Marianne.
I like when issues like that pop up and we all learn something about not just the dashboarding, but data preparation and cleaning, and it's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me it was a very good exercise never to trust ChatGPT or AI on face value. They stole a Grand Slam title from someone. I had to put it back.
Nice. Yeah, you can tell that you have a lot of experience following tennis.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Really cool.
It's your domain.
Your domain.
All the name.
All right, folks. Let's see. Now we have Alex. Alex, let me share screen. Elite Athlete Care. You always have good names for your apps.
Yes.
Elite Athlete Career Trajectory. This interactive dashboard visualizes data from the pudding article. I appreciate, Alex. I sometimes forget to do this when I participate in other hackathons or projects where you mention where the data source comes from. The article, One
Okay.
Wonders in Sports, that's very good. Analyzes top 20 players from 8 sports leagues over the last 30 years, exploring 20 of 8 sport leagues, exploring the relationship between peak performance and career consistency. Very nice. Okay.
Well, very
Hey,
quickly. But, ask Mike.
I just want to make one point to what Adam said is that I think it's very accepted practice in data visualization that when you have a reference or attribution of where your data come from, it
Hmm.
automatically bumps up the credibility of what you're showing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's always a practice that I did. I do. Well, basically here, very fast is I decided to exactly similar what Marianne and Mike did based on one chart. Is in this case scatter plot. I wanted to build two metrics basically regarding peak performance and consistency. If you can go up just a little, if you over the consistency here, a tooltip, there is no tooltip here. Well, okay, consistency. Explaining consistency is the ratio of an athlete's career years than they finish in the top 10. Basically, to explain exactly how, where come from these
Term.
sliders.
Yeah.
Okay, longevity is in the data set, and peak, that's basically is the total number, and peak performance is this formula here that also try to make some number in order to compare based on exactly the career of some athletes, because one, as article said, one have a peak and then disappear. So that's the reason why. Well, then I decided to exactly say select league. Here select league, so only the league, and also here you can see the performance analysis. What is the performance analysis? The performance based on the selection in the slider. You will see here exactly the career trajectory, peaks performance versus consistency. In this case, NBA. I did it for league. What is tell us? Well, basically here, what I wanted to do is like a PCA, let's say in that way. It's not a PCA, exactly. It's just for visualization. You how I can do this? Well, basically, you can have, for instance, two players with the same characteristic, consistency and peak performance. But for visualization, I have two. I don't know if you know about it or have listened about it or heard about it. I have to do some jitters. Jitter is like you multiply by a noisy, you make it into exactly build or control this scale to see, but you can see different or the all the points or the dots in the chart. If you don't do that, all the point will be overlapped. It's
Yeah.
a practice. It's a practice that makes or is only used in PCA to
Yeah.
see the chart. Okay. Well, then you can select here. You can select click on a specific player, and on the right side you can see the athletes. In this case, Blake Griffin, the athlete detail. Basically, the sports, the leagues, the career years, and the peak score. This peak score is based on the what I just explained, and also the consistency, a metric that I built. And also you can select until three. I put here a star in order to see for people know what exactly they click on. Ahoy. Okay, here you select Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, and James Harden. Perfect. Then you can go to the other chart, that is the line chart selecting in the radio item. Here, evolution of annual performance score in this case. And you can see here exactly how this is a matrix I built, but base is based exactly on the ranking. The ranking behavior will be closer or similar. And you can see here, for instance, Chris Paul from is always a performance scorer, and also basically from 26 2020 20 2006 until 2000, the peak year was when he was playing with the Clipper, exactly with Blake Griffin, 20 29 2012. The problem for them
Alex,
was the huh?
Alex,
Uh-huh.
how was this performance score calculated?
Well, as I said, I calculated based on a ranking. I use the ranking, the ranking for each player, and make some point. It's like a say and some kind of arbitrary. It's not a sign behind. Basically, what I wanted to do is exactly the performance score. Well, if the player is in higher ranking, the value is higher. It is lower ranking before it decrease. The idea is exactly try to make the chart, and also the evolution of top ranking. This is the last one, and from these three, it's exactly as I said, is exactly with ranking, and you will see only until the top 10 if the year where they were playing, and also try to make an story, a narrative here, no, based on well, if I have peak performance or peak score, well, it's basically because he has higher ranking. In this case, you will see this ball this time. Well, two or three, two times in number two. I think that the number one was LeBron, and then if he fell to 5 to 8. And also here, for instance, just play Griffin, only 3 years, and that's it. This is basically what I tried. I like it to do, and play with the slider. You can play with the slider. If you play with the slider, for instance, you go to the career, you will see exactly. It's like a range. And you will see, oh, let's see what is was the Iron Horse athlete that play 20 years and have a consistency higher, maybe. Well, LeBron is the
Yeah.
only one for and yours. And basically, what I did.
So to Marianne's question, is peak performance directly related to rank, or you include other things?
No, it elected exactly. Is the direct uh, uh,
Relationship.
direct relationship with ranking.
So
Why?
why did you, Alex? So why did you make numbers out of it? Why didn't you just keep it as ranking?
Well, I try to exactly, and let's say an invasion I'm making to see exactly well how let's see how is impact to the years performing versus the ranking, because the year you have performing 20 years, but how was your ranking? Your ranking decreased, but you are still, for instance, from you are not top 10, but you are a performance, a constant. You are constant. It's very important to. You are not the player with the numbers, but you perform. And at the end of the day, you still perform because you are playing at a high level. For instance, it's,
So
like say,
the more they are ranked number one or two or three for longer periods of time, the more consistent.
exactly, 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 exactly.
Nice, Russell Westbrook. I like that you
Alex,
jitter. And Mike,
I love your dashboard. And the one thing that just draws me
Thank you.
in, where my eyes move, is these cards summarizing the athlete. Those are so beautiful and so helpful.
Thank you.
I must learn how to do that. I say that a lot, but
Oh, for sure. See, if you make it's harder thing than this one.
but how did my Alex? Are these? What are you using here? Dash Mantine cards. What are these?
No, I always that's maintain. No, I always use that's bootstrap.
Okay.
Always bootstrap, because boost for me bootstrap is have all the thing, and is I have been using. Get accustomed to. I know exactly how where I going to. Oh, this is in this color. I know how where to fix it. I know, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I like a fish in the water. So yes.
it's very, very capable, Alex. I've switched to Mantine because a trusted colleague of mine who develops Spotlight dashboards inside of our company told me to go to Mantine and just said it's better. And I've been using that ever since. But it's a question of, I don't want to really become an expert on two different methodologies for this. My mind isn't that expansive. But I often question my decision on that. Some of the things I do in Mantine maybe will be better in Bootstrap, but I'm too new to this to do it both ways.
Well, I one thing that I love about Bootstrap is the template. The template they have Bootstrap a lot of 20 or 12 template around Bootstrap, Flatly, Darkly, Cyber. I mean, and the difference among typography and the color. So this is why I like it a lot. And also the idea of building this in this way also is to get insight for me. In this case, for instance, I don't know many about LPGA or WNBA that, and and I like it to go further, to go deep in order to know every play.
Yeah.
And basically, is what I did. I don't know if you have any other question or.
So longevity, you use this as a filter, but it's not shown here in any way, right? Not in the cards and not in the hover.
Yes, also, see, you move to the right, you will see two or three players. For instance, if two or three players that last 20 years, you have if like if you make the exactly locally with the plotly the selection mainly.
Oh. So longevity is a career years, 8, 12.
Exactly. Is in the data say a career year exactly.
Wow.
That's the idea, né? That's the idea. That's the idea. Because, for instance, if you reset selection here, Adam, just a little. Okay. Then go up, and consistency only left longevity. Okay, longevity, and move into other MLB, for instance, MLB. There is okay. Go down. Put 15. You will see
20 years, 22 years, 16 years.
exactly. Hmm.
Really
Exactly.
nice.
See, consistency, and then you will see exactly. If I put consistency 0.3, you will see consistency. There are
Yeah,
2.3. You
nice.
have the
Very impressive,
na-
Alex.
you narrow the idea.
The options.
Exactly.
This has to be the arrow up, right?
Hmm. See.
Really nice, Alex. This is
It's
what an amazing.
beautiful.
Thank you. The idea exactly is like digging the data and also look for any patterns. I don't you will see.
26 years. Well, golf is not as hard on the body.
No, golf and the hardest are NHL. It's very difficult to find a player with 23 years in NHL.
Yeah, that is really
I,
hard.
Yeah,
eh,
that's
I
where you
feel
have.
that Jaron on 1 point.
Nicholas
Alex,
Lidstrom. What,
Huh?
Marianne?
one minor thing. Uh,
No,
you
imagine.
you need to select an athlete before you can choose one of the two other visuals. Am I correct? Is it possible to disable the other two radio button options?
Mm,
Like you're saying, Marianne, like if no to put in a callback, if none were selected, then
you do
these are
this
not
exactly.
even visible.
Disable grayed out,
Yeah, they
something
could be.
like that.
I wonder in Bash Bootstrap or Mantan, I think, even in Dash, I think you can, what you said, Marianne, you can disable certain buttons.
Ah,
They can't be even
I understand.
clickable. And then Alex, like Marianne said, only if something is chosen in the graph, then this becomes enabled and enabled.
Okay,
Yeah, I make
I understand.
these kind of mistakes, Alex. I'm sorry.
No. It's an excellent advice.
Good advice. Very good advice.
Very
Okay.
good advice. Yes. Well,
Thank you, Alex.
thank you, and thank you as always. Your excellent question,
And then we have Esther here who built
Esther. It's
her
beautiful too.
Dash app. Let's let it load. Loading. This is it right here. So we have summary cards. I always like also the layout that Esther shows us in the theme. One hit wonder, detective sports timeline, hover point for details. Hover point for details, filter by player. So. So here we go. Oh wow, look at how she. Oh, look at those emojis. So nice. Allen Iverson. So we know it's basketball. Let's see, Allen Iverson, 1998 league. We don't have information. Games played 72 ones, ranked 775.
This was a visual that or the app that made me realize you have sometimes tournaments counted, sometimes games counted. Well, if you look tennis again or golf, they play one tournament, but to win a golf tournament, you have to perform in a few days, actually,
Yeah.
for 3-4 games.
Yeah, that's a good point, Martin.
Yeah, and in the data set, it's it's counted as the number of tournaments played.
Because Marina, I was gonna say, because I really like this stack timeline chart, because you can see like how many, for example, see the yellow, you can see the baseball, they just play game over game over game over game, at least the number of teams, and then like you said in golf, you said the count is different, right?
Yeah, well, you play one tournament, or you play maybe 20 tournaments a year, but you actually play more,
multiple games. Yeah. How many games is one tournament?
Usually 4 rounds of golf is a tournament.
Yeah.
4 rounds.
Tennis, if you want to win a Grand Slam, you have to win 7 matches.
7 matches.
It's one tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the comparison.
What people complain about baseball is that 162 games in their regular season.
No, 82.
In NBA are 82.
Yeah.
82 in the NBA, 162 in MLB.
No, that's too
much.
NHL,
and NHL too, and 82.
People actually buy season tickets for those sports. I don't know how anybody does it, but Adam, I can see buying a commitment to go to like 81 Met or Yankee games a year.
Imagine, no. I would have to be married to a Yankee player or something. Like, but yeah, I think you're right, Marianne. Like we have to pay attention.
Good point.
This might be a little bit deceiving, thinking, oh, baseball, there's so many games, there's like 41,000 games, but if we compare it to golf, it's just they're counted differently. Yes, there are probably still more games in baseball than golf, but it's not the exact comparison, because 3,200 is probably tournaments and not games.
Yeah,
and games that'll be multiplied.
The other thing, this is really a limitation of comparing sports, but this data set did it pretty well. But if you're a baseball player, you're expected to play or be available to play in every single game unless you're injured. If you're an individual sport like tennis or golf, you can pick or choose what tournaments you want to join or not join. And a good example of that was Tiger Woods. He was so dominant, he would say, well, I'm just going to play the majors and very few other tournaments. Whereas the up-and-coming people are playing much more.
Exactly.
You have more obligations. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's always been a challenge, is individual sports performance versus team sports are difficult to compare as apples to apples, but this data is pretty good, I would say.
But is basketball really 82 games a season? Or?
Yeah.
82.
And then 2.5 months of playoffs, or 2 months.
82 without playoff, exactly.
8 playoffs. And playoffs, okay. I think it was 15. You have to win 15 playoff games to be the champion.
At least.
You could play 26 playoff games if every series went to the maximum 5 and then 3 games.
Exactly.
Comparing between two.
Cumulative. It's LeBron plus Stephen Curry. That's 164.
Yeah, it is. Basketball. So this would be a total games played for both of them.
Yes.
By year. So in 2017, 53, they probably played together. Their peak was 153. So pretty much almost in every game, What did we say? Basketball is 162.
No,
What's this?
82.
82, 82.
82 plus playoffs, and that baseball's 162.
If you look at 2000, from 2004 to 2009 is one player, 82.
Yeah.
So
Oh, right. It's 4, right?
Mhm.
All right, folks.
I like the title. Beautiful.
This was a great data set. I didn't know it would be so cool. I liked it, but we really made beautiful apps from it.
It was
Exactly.
very
Let me ask
enjoyable.
you, I would like
You
to
see,
ask you something.
everybody has a certain knowledge of sports, maybe different sports, but there's a lot of knowledge in here by the people who submitted this week. And
Yeah. Alex, what do you want to ask?
Well, I did ask all the data, all the chart in this data set, using this data set was basically line or scatter plot.
Yeah.
What different chart, is a question for all, what different chart would you select instead of line, chart, or scatter plot that can store? For instance, I would say that if players rankings pick, I would select radar chart. I don't know. You compare player versus player to see exactly how they perform in rankings, in picks. I don't know.
Yeah, radar chart could work. The bar charts, the histograms. Usually for because it's timeline. Usually the
It's
people use
time.
it for timeline. I wonder if a sun. No, I don't think a tree map or a sunburst would work here. It's a good question, Alex. A Gantt chart could work. A timeline, a Gantt chart.
Mm,
oh, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
gotcha. For the ranking.
For ranking or for years, it's almost like a
Mm,
horizontal bar chart from this year to this year. And then the color could be the ranking.
or
Or, or
if for instance, this one is a cascade that is a financial chart that for ranking that you select if you are until the 10 rank or below 100 rank, the color is
different.
green,
Yeah.
and if you are below, the color is red. For instance, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that could be a butterfly chart could work where it's separated between two players. That could be it. Yeah, it was a good data set. It was a good. We have really good graphs.
See.
I learned
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Next data set for the next week is going to be a little bit simpler, and it's going to be on more usage of maps for like scatter map to see the traffic of bicycles in Montreal. I'll post it later today. And I hope to see all of you next week on Friday. As a reminder, we have our hackathon for everybody watching us. If you want to participate, I put the link in the comments.
Good.
And I hope everyone has a great weekend.
You too.
Same to you. Watch some sports this weekend.
Yeah. All right. See you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice